This one pretty quickly because I only have 1 hour, so I'm speaking very quickly for no good reason. Right. As you can see probably by the title at the top, it's very mixed, but the email kind of stressed one thing above all else, which is the use of support ultimates. Like in the latter part of this game, I'd say like the latter 2/3 of the game, we're going to see a lot of supports. We're going to start out with a hero that I did a chat with Sty, and it's probably gone live on YouTube literally as we speak. Like a very long, in-depth chat with Sty about where we think everything is in the meta and with 222 and all this kind of stuff. And I think we kind of had a little bit of a small disagreement in which hero is currently the worst DPS in the game, and in my opinion, it's Junkrat. I think Junkrat is probably the worst DPS in the game at the moment. The simple reason being, well, you could pick Hanzo. Hanzo's really good. This is, unbelievably, this is competitive. It's placement games, I do believe. And just starting out, first thing we always check, we're on offense, we are extra crispy. I think we've done extra crispy before, I recognize the name. But we are playing with a mono support, we are playing with triple DPS, mono support, double tank, not ideal, going away soon, oh thank goodness. I don't know how people still play around. I went and did a game of quick play earlier on live, and I just instantly hated my life. Instantly hated it. So yeah, not doing that again. Oh, it's so much better 222. But just taking a look at like what we're looking at. We've seen what the enemy tanks are as well. The big thing I would stress, like, it's hard at this point, especially with the Junkrat, because what you're looking at is you got Widow, Genji. So these two heroes aren't that interested in doing barrier damage. You don't have a team that is going to like fight the enemy barrier. So all the barrier damage that we can do, not really going to be useful. So we're probably going to be wanting to be a little bit more clever, bounce shots around the barrier. We're not really that interested in shooting the barrier that much. We should be looking to just put pressure on locations and try and pick up some kills that way. That's at least how I would try and approach this, looking at this team lineup. So being over here, I don't mind too much, but I'd like to see us pushing somewhere where we can actually see what's happening, because right now we're shooting grenades into the abyss and hoping. This is bold. So you can see, like, that was kind of an... ooh. Very conservative of you. Okay. I don't mind this motion, I just think it's a little bit mistimed, because a bunch of people have just died, so you got no forward pressure. So if the enemy team is paying attention, they should react and punish this, but they don't. This is entirely wasted. Like, this is exactly what I mean. Like, this barrier is never going down. Ever, 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 ever. You are never taking this out. The reason being, well, Hammond can't really do it. Zarya can't really help you with it. Widow's not going to help you much with it. Genji's not going to help you much with it. So it's just literally you versus that barrier. Not going to work super well. This, however, I really like. And it's like, oh! 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 I don't know why we run away from this. You can fight that. Maybe I'm being overly greedy, but I would go for that, because this is the exact thing you kind of want to be doing. And I know we're a little bit worried, but it's like Hog Rita. They're going to be relatively static. Nothing's making them move. Playing around in this room is fine, but I'm just surprised that we let this Ana go. And if it's like a lack of confidence thing of like, I'm not confident enough to go and try and finish her off, you might want to work on that. Just as an FYI. Might be worth working on that. Okay, nice. Okay, exactly what we want to do. So like, the execution is lacking. First and foremost, I'd like us to check, like, once the infrasight goes on, just check what's happening with the other heroes as well, because like, I got surprised by this Orisa suddenly turning up. I like the pressure on the Ana. I'd just like this to start a little bit earlier, but hey, we get it done, and we start pressuring out the Orisa, and she gets a lot of damage done. We get the Ana, which is good. I'm fine with us just holding this room. And now we can push out. Push out, push out, push out, push out, push out. Okay. So it's kind of an awkward situation to start at the game. I'd also say, like, I don't like Junkrat on offense on Junkertown. I don't mind him on defense, but on offense, I think second point especially, we're going to start struggling. So I'm curious to see how he handles second point onwards. It feels like we're underestimating our damage as well. Like, I know she's used Fortify, but it's still just an Orisa. Like, you can just smash this. what, like 120 damage a grenade? Big old target. Nothing wrong with slamming damage into that. I'm fine with the traps going on the door, though. I'm concerned about your Genji. I am very concerned about your Genji. Just as an FYI to all Genji players out there, if the enemy team activates Transcendence, pass into the Iris, please do not make your default response, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Dragon Blade. Not the time. We're kind of doing that job, yeah. I'd like to see us, like, as the fight petered down a little bit, after you've dealt with, like, the trance and after all this has gone off, I think I'm fine with us, especially once this guy goes down, just dropping the trap and then just going and dealing with the payload, like, after the dragon's gone, I think is the 100% right move. Like, you don't need to contest anymore, you just need to finish off, and that's what we've done. I'm not so keen on this. I think this is a little bit of a tepid move. But we do want to be a little bit careful about how we're advancing. But because this is such an aggressive team, like you've got the Genji going forward and stuff, I just think, like, if we're playing with this team lineup, anytime we're shooting the barrier, it feels like wasted time. I'm A-okay with us just contesting that, though. Why is the Widow... The Widow's in the place where perhaps we should be. This is where I'm concerned about the Junkrat pick. Like, this is the exact nightmare situation we don't want to be in. Because the question I have is, like, well, where do you win from here? You can't really land many grenades on things. You can't really push in, because you're just pushing straight onto an Orisa barrier. You need to be up here contesting the high ground from the Roadhog. Like, to make Junkrat function, we need that high ground quite badly. Whoop! Whoop! Hey! And it's not like I mean to be down on Junkrat, it's just... what they've done to Hanzo is make him shoot Junkrat's grenades, but they can headshot, and he has Storm Arrow, so he's much more consistent. And he's got a really good ultimate. And he's got really good mobility. We've done something that I do. This is actually something, a habit that I am trying to kill in my own gameplay, like very actively. I've realized that I do this. I overestimate what the enemy's going to do. I do this quite a lot. So in this situation, we've spotted, oh, well, there's the Widowmaker. I'm going to try and shoot her, but because I'm using projectiles and she might know I'm here, I'm going to shoot in front of her, and therefore, when she reacts and moves, well, she'll walk into the ground. You don't be that fan. Just lob the grenade at her. Just lob a grenade right at her. It's like a very weird problem. Nice. Good job. Oh. I'm disappointed we didn't check what we triggered. I think we got the Zen and think your Genji took it out, but I'd like to see us just check that, just to be sure. I think that barrier is such a big problem for this team. Yep, just spam away now. That's all you need to do. This is overly fancy. The amount of times I've seen people, like, when the payload is getting this close, the amount of times I've seen people contest this angle is very rare. Very, very rare do people actually take the time and energy to go out on this high ground. Especially when the payload is getting this close. It's all about the low pathway, literally the one right underneath us at this point. We don't need to worry about that one. Like, having the trap there is more than enough. Fine with us what we're doing. This is actually good now that we're contesting that side. Let them worry about that. Honestly, I'd say you're good just still worrying about this side a little bit, but they fail on doing with that side. Looks like we did our job at least. So we can't really fault what we're doing, and we got the point, so hey, it doesn't matter too much. We like pushed the Roadhog out, we made sure the Roadhog couldn't do anything. Zenyatta couldn't get in either. And so we have a Riptire. You have some choices with the Riptire. Because they still have Genji, they still have an Ana, but they're a good distance, like they've just used the Nano Blade not far away. If you're playing Junkrat, tracking Nano Blade is important. Because if you suspect that they have Nano Blade and you have Riptire, save it, use the Riptire when you think the Genji is engaging, you can kill the Nano Genji, and you save your team a whole lot of heartache and trouble. Hello, Azuruta. I'm going aggressive with it. We have the Infra Sight, so sure. It's a dead Winston as well. We did a lot of damage to him. And oh. Interesting reaction there. I'd have just run at him. I'd have just gone for it. Like, this is almost off cooldown, but he just needs to be punched. Hammond's done it anyway. Widow's gone a bit nuts. I'm not the biggest fan of the Widowmaker in your team. I think her positioning is a touch aggressive. Not bad. So get another trap down somewhere. Nice, I like it. Yeah, this to me is what we should have done earlier. Like, look how effective this is. At the start of the game, we kind of ignored Narisa just running past us. Narisa's just cash money. Like, even fortified, she just takes so much damage. Ooh. Nice. That's why I like that trap so much, because people will just run out. Spoiler alert, guys, if they have a Junkrat on their team, just keep traps in mind. It's not that difficult. There's someone on his team called Gold. They actually aren't called Gold, they're called Golo. Let's have a look at the names. There's Lord Coffee. It's not even coffee, it's like Lord Coffee. Akami Kami. I think that's a clever joke in Japanese. Kami means God. Okami is something else. Okami is like a cute dog that has the power of the sun. That's a platinum game. But hey, we've done the decent thing. Look, oh, you've had to swap to support because no one else on your team is going to play support. So now we're in my territory. Okami is Wolf. So it's like God Wolf. Okay. Wolf God. It also means disgusting weeb. Yes, I'm actually fine with our start here. Because we don't have a barrier, normally what you try and do is you'd be setting up a right click and you'd go for the shot. Because you don't know what they're playing and you don't have a barrier, I am A-okay with us playing this safe. Good. Get Discord on the Mercy. Good. Okay. Very minor thing at first. Like, the thing that I like here is our reaction to the Hammond isn't to shoot the Hammond, it's to Discord the Hammond, which is what you want to be doing. The thing that I noticed here is, hey, yeah, we got the Genji Mercy, and we get the Discord on the Mercy, and then we move it on to the Genji. Just keep it on that Mercy. I like our reaction to put the heal on the Ana. That is correct. So the thing I like a lot less here is we put ourselves in a position where we don't know what's going on. Like, we deal with this, and the Hammond just rolls away, which that's kind of how Hammond do. That's what always going to... Like, there's no way as Zenyatta you can kill the Hammond. He will just always run away before you can kill him. If you're going to throw out the heal, you want to just... Like, if you look at this situation, you look and you go, okay, well, I want to put a heal on the Genji, cancel the right click. Otherwise, just do the right click around the corner, then put the heal on him. Especially because he's not got, like, yellow portrait or caution or anything like that. He's fine. I like the fact that we run towards our team. That's very good. It's not quite enough. Ana just grenades him instead of grenading us, which is a slight issue.
A temporary setback.
It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation because, like, this is the issue I have when playing Zenyatta against a Hammond, with a Hammond rather, by the way, which is that you never feel safe. Let's get out, get those heals going. Get that heal going, nice. Good. Yeah, there's no way you can save this Genji. Like, you notice that he needs healing really badly, and then he gets pile drive. There's nothing you can do for that. I like the fact that we're prioritizing getting a heal up and running when everyone's low. That's absolutely correct. Like a little bit of triage is needed. I'm not so keen on us holding left mouse button after this point. When they start carrying behind the payload, this is when I probably take a reload and a right click. Just because they're not peeking at this moment. You've got the Roadhog contesting. You're a little bit, like, we're nervous about walking out, which, honestly, that's fine. That's correct, because we should be nervous about walking out into this. There's no safety for us. We have to kind of wait for... Like, if you just walk out into this, if this guy dies and you walk out to go and contest the payload, you just die. So I'm fine with us taking a moment and just, like, shooting from here. I'd just like to see us use a right-click instead. Maybe, like, put it here, maybe even try and sneak it underneath. But yeah, I'm fine with us playing this safe. Okay, we're going to have to contest. Guess not. This is a Genji who has been fed like crazy, but hey, good job, Roadhog. I'm guessing that's a duo. The Mercy Genji. I'd be shocked if it isn't. This is a very difficult game for us. I ain't gonna lie. Today's like 15 degrees cooler. Oh, it's been raining here all day and I love it. That's why I've got the hat back on. It feels so much nicer with my hat on. We are too scared. We are way too scared. You are way more scared than you need to be. Let's talk about this. Don't get me wrong, Mercy Genji, like, scary thing for us then to see. But they are in panic mode at the moment. And we're, like, so worried about the Hammond and everything else happening. Just get that Discord orb on the Mercy at the very least. Like... Once you've gotten your orbs out, then you can play safe. But until then, you can take occasional risks to make sure those orbs are up and running. Yep, just... Ugh, the Hammond cleanup. One of the major perks of playing Ashe. Just have to throw dynamite. Our instinct is to shoot something that pokes its nose around the corner. No. Instinct should be... This should be an E straight away. This should be your Discord orb. There's multiple reasons why. The first is that it will generally just give you 3 seconds where they won't poke. So what will usually happen is they'll go, oh, I've got a Discord orb. I'm going to just hide and wait for it to run out, which that is the correct thing for that Genji to perhaps do. If they don't do that, you can just do a right click and you know exactly where he's going to be. You can land the shot. If someone else hits him, like this Ana hits him, and you put a Discord on him, it's more damage, it's more ult charge for your Ana, it's all good things. Just firing the shot, I'm less of a fan of. It's more getting the information, like what the Genji is doing, where he's moving. And hey, reason number 3042 why I don't like playing with Hammond. I think Hammond Sigma will be a lot of fun. Did you just see Ana just like collapse there? It's just like... Ugh. Ugh. I think Hammond Sigma will be fun. Hammond Sigma could be a lot of fun.
Adversity is an opportunity for change.
So it's been a while since we've seen the Dragon Blade, and you can see in the top left, because we have Cheeto Vision, that it's going to be coming up. I think the correct decision was, by the way, like, because I want to talk about alts, let's actually talk about this situation here. So you know they Dragon Bladed not too long ago from this fight. Like, they Dragon Bladed basically the previous fight from this one. But this is where paying attention to the enemy team and paying attention to what's been happening around you is very important as a support, because this Mercy has just been 100% damage amping the Genji, following the Genji around. All of their team, like, I've barely noticed the Torbjorn and Widow existing, right? It's just been all the Genji, all the Mercy, and all the Hammond. All the time. Like, that's been their entire team, it feels like. So, because there's so many resources being funneled into this Genji, he's going to get Dragon Blades quickly. So if you have the Transcendence, there might be a temptation to use it outside of, you know, oh, well, he's just used his Dragon Blade, so maybe I should Trance. I would be against that. Like, our charge rate has been not great. We haven't been getting these Trances very quickly because we don't have big targets to shoot and feed off. And as a result, yeah, you just save the Transcendences, use them to try and counter the Genji. And there's the Widow.
For change.
So, triage. Discord's up, heals up. Very weird thing here. I would like at this moment for us to just put a heal orb on the Ana. It's like, this is just like very, very nitpicky from me. And it isn't strictly necessary here, but it's just a good habit to get into. Of when something threatens your backline, get that get the Harmony Orb as quickly as you can onto the other support. Just makes it super safe, because then if the Hammond targets you, well, the Ana can keep you alive. Okay, that was a decision. But yeah, just to finish your previous thought, if you put the heal orb on the Ana, then you can keep the Ana alive through a lot of Hammond's damage, and then she can keep you alive through his. Just completely nullifies any risk or threat or failure. I am not the biggest fan of this decision. And it's not even that it's like... It's not really about even the healing, it's about disabling ourselves. Because what we do when we do this is we go, oh, well, I can no longer contribute to this fight other than heal. And there wasn't any pressing great need of healing. Like, the person that's low is the Genji, and the Genji's quite far away. We do get some heals on him, but I think Harmony would have been fine to just deal with him. And you've basically just said to the enemy team, yes, please Dragon Blade us. This is going to be tough. I would not play from here if I was in this situation. I would actually be even further back at this point. The Dragon Blade is coming. So you can't be in the middle of anywhere. You have to be very defensively positioned to the point where if the Genji, like most Genjis will dash, blade, I'm going to draw like a spiral because that's what it looks like when he does it, and then dash. And you want to make sure that you cannot be reached by two dashes. Like, that to me is how you deal with this situation. When you have no ult, but you know that they have a Dragon Blade coming, you need to be two dashes away from Genji at all times, which is next to impossible on this point. So the way we do it is that we actually either hide out of line of sight. So either you go into the tunnel that's like this way, and you go into that one, or you go all the way back this way, and you go into the one behind us. Like, not that one, but the one further back. And that way, when the Genji comes in, you can get the Discord on him guaranteed, and then you could try and shoot him down. Stay safe. Yeah, that's just unfortunate with the Moira Orb. I think the moment you are in this situation, you need to get, like, you cannot, don't fight this, basically. Like, the moment you back into a small room like this, your thought should be, well, I'm stuck. Like, my question is Zen is generally like, what can I see and what can I impact? And when you're like this, you can't see anything except Torbjorn. And even if you land some shots on Torbjorn, he's just going to go either direction. He might have supports around here or supports over here. He's got friends. He's okay. He's fine. So you aren't really going to do much from this sightline. So, like, the way that I think of it, like, you know, outside of just this being like, oh, hey, what you should do is go this way, the thought process is more, hey, I'm now trapped in a small room. My effectiveness in a small room is not great. My effectiveness over here, though, where I can see everything, well, that would be really good. So just start moving instantaneously. Genji almost gets in our sight line, but doesn't quite, and then we just get killed. Torba's friends we don't, I know.
No dying on my watch.
Okay. I think Baptiste is an interesting choice here. I would like to have seen us go Moira instead and they just stay on the Ana. I think that would have worked fine.
No dying on my watch.
The issue I have with Baptiste here is it's a question of like, who do you heal? Who are you really benefiting here? You're great with Roadhog, but that's kind of all you're going to be doing. Because the Genji's going to be annoying to heal, the Widow's going to be kind of annoying to heal, the Ana you can definitely help out a lot, but she's swapping to Moira, so... And then Hammond, like, he can roll back to you and you can heal him up, but that's kind of all you can do. Like, the thing with Baptiste is he's really good when there's a clump of people. When there isn't a clump of people, that's when it gets a little bit scarier. Also, just a minor thing as well. Personally, I find this very effective. When you are engaged with something like this, and like once he starts firing, once he starts actually fighting, just hit shift. And that's probably going to be enough to just mitigate all his damage, give you healing, make everybody safe. It's on a pretty low cooldown, use it pretty aggressively. Once, like if someone's diving in the backline and it's just one person just doing a little bit of damage here and there, just tapping the shift there, a good way to get a little bit of extra roll charge. And then you can focus on shooting and aiming and all that stuff. And it also keeps you safe as well, which is sort of a nice benefit. So like this situation as well, just tapping shift just to make sure everyone's safe from the Gengu, that's fine. Definitely tap it now for the extra heals, good. Something quite funny about the Baptiste not being the one in the field. I know we get sort of stuck by it, but stuck with the hammer and slam. I don't know why we move as we do. Like, we're trying to get... So here's the thing with Immortality Field. Everyone will kind of gravitate towards it, which is a mixed blessing, right? Everyone will kind of run into it. Sure, you can go, oh, but this is high plat to low diamond. People are terrible. They won't run into it. Give people the benefit of the doubt. They'll generally run towards it. So you can just kind of stay in it and just shoot the floor, and you'll get a lot of juicy healing out of that. There's no need to like back away from it that much. And the nice thing about the Immortality Field is if it takes a second longer for someone to get into position and they're still in the field, they're not going to die anyway.
Attitude positive là.
Get that shift up, nice. Get Widow healed. I'd like to see us use her ult. Okay. Not the greatest, not the worst. I would like to see us use it way earlier. Way earlier. Once we've stabilized at this moment here, personally, I would have gone for it and I would have just put it like here. Like I would have just stepped out here and dropped it right there. Just so we have like this constant wall of damage that's staring at the payload. So I look to, yeah, just get it like about here. I don't think you actually need to like walk out. I think you could just do it from like here so you're safe from the Widow or safe-ish from the Widow. And just make sure that it's like, you know, facing the payload. Because that way it just makes it so much harder for them to do anything on the payload, makes it so much harder for them to approach. Because as long as people shoot through it, you'll be fine. But you guys are in a lot of trouble here. And a big part of it is just the team comp is garbanzo. Because hey, people are playing 3 DPS, and then people are off rolling, and then hey, people don't play the roles that they can actually play. Imagine that. Nice. Respect the Widow. Let's get our shift out there. When your team starts winning this fight, I'd say like at this moment, like they've all been pushed back, you guys have lit up the kill feed. This is when I would be more happy about just running out there, just to get that shift going, that nice big AoE heal ticking on everybody. Get you your ultimate nice and quick. Especially for stuff like topping off the Genji. It's very nice for that. Now you notice how hard it is to heal him. Okay. Blue. It's kind of my problem with Immortality Field, right? Like, imagine if he had a team as well that was helping him kill this thing. It still just kind of doesn't work. That's why I prefer Baptiste on attack than defense. I find on defense it's just too easy to use Dragon Blade and win fights. Is there anything more we could have done? I'm okay with us being on high ground because we're quite strong from there. I think the way that we used the Immortality Field was fine. I would still like us to have used the shift on the way over. Like, it is a heal over time. It's... So, like, I just throw this, and I would just throw the shift out now, and I think it hit everybody. I think it might not reach the Moira. It might. I think it definitely hits the Zarya. It's a good ability. Make use of it aggressively. Get some heals on that Widow. Okay. Something to get very sensitive to is this icon. You guys can't see it because I'm in the way. I apologize. Let me get myself out the way. If I click... I had a very easy way of doing this, and now it's not that easy. Webcam. I have too many old things that I don't use. Where's the overlay? There it is. You can see the Widow. This icon, we should be sensitive to this icon, like as sensitive as we can be to this icon. This icon is very important. Hey, thank you so much. When?
Booty, haven't seen your stream in a while, but I hope you've been good. Love.
Booty, I haven't seen your stream in a while. Thank you so much, Brenwen. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, that icon is mega important. Like, get sensitive to that, get sensitive to seeing it and reaction to it very quickly. Just lobbing one heal grenade over there won't cost us much. And you might be wondering, like, oh, what's the point? It's a Widowmaker. She's gonna be, like, in the backline anyway. She's gonna be safe. Surely it's not that big of a deal, right? Oh, it's just Widow, whatever. When you are on this low hit points as Widowmaker, you have to be, like, you have to play super safe, super carefully, because anyone looks at you and you die. When you get a little bit more health, then you can start taking aggressive positions, you can set up crossfires, you can do so much more. Might not be the case with our Widow, because our Widow is not the best, but it's definitely a factor in, like, how Widow functions and thinks and plays. When you have no health, you play carefully. When you have lots of health, you get more aggressive. Oh! Got a beam battle. I wish they did actually, like, lock and clash. I thought that this time was more to keep the Hammond alive, that's contesting the payload. Yeah, you just need one nade. Like, the Hammond's fine. Look at him. He's got Moira there, he's all good. You got a Widow there that's almost dead. She needs you. Hi, baby! I wish that Brig had a voice line that reacted to that. Just kind of like, dude. Oh no! I think I see what happened here. Which is, Hammond was like, oh, immortality field, I can just get rid of all these mines. So I'll roll through the, oh wait, no, I've rolled out the field, I'm dead. Yeah. Again, get that shift out. Like, the shift is almost instantaneous, and it's a heal over time, and it's just really good. Probably longer range than you expect. I think the immortality field is the right call. We just lobbed it a little bit too far, which, you know, that happens. It's a bit of a weird projectile in how it floats. So it goes a little bit further than we need. But I think the immortality field in response to a minefield, that's fine. Now we're in trouble. Get the shift out. And I think you lose at this point, which you do.
Score 3-3.
3-3.
Ready for battle.
Moira. I think Moira Ana is a much more sensible choice with this thing.
Attackers incoming.
Can't minefield destroy the lamp? I don't think it can. I think if you deploy the minefield into a lamp, I think it can. But I think once the minefield's deployed, I don't think it does. But with how the enemy team's been playing, this healer mix makes a lot more sense to me. You can keep people alive. Like, the thing that's been killing your team over and over again is this Genji and Hammond, like, diving to the back line with a Mercy plugged into the Genji, and that kills people. Very difficult to do that through Moira.
Stop the payload.
He's fine. Cool. Don't be afraid at these moments. By the way, let me comment on this actually. Right, the Genji takes a bunch of damage, and he drops back, and then he sort of runs up to us. If you are a DPS player in this moment, just take the health pack. Honestly, I know, like, you might sit there thinking in this like, oh well, it's more optimal if he gives me the hit points to heal. But the reality of the situation is more, he can go get this health pack and you can be watching the front and healing people on the front line and keeping people alive there, rather than trying to top this guy off and worrying about that. It means that there's less likely to be like, oh, well, you see he runs in there and then you turn around and he turns around, and that kind of confusion. It's less likely to have all sorts of those kinds of problems, where if you are a DPS player and you go, oh, well, there's a health pack right there, but I should give this to the healer, just grab the health pack. Like, honestly, just do it. Just take it. And so, as a support, I can then worry about what's happening on the front line, and I can be concerned with that, rather than babysitting a Genji that didn't need it. I'd say at this point, like, once I've reached about half of my Moira charge, that's when I start playing a lot more carefully. And I think, like, if you are going to be in this sort of thing, like, just the occasional spray here, and then when you get to about here, this is where I'd be like, okay, maybe I should just orb. And I definitely just orb at this point. Throw it here, so it goes out from you. It'll slow down, plug into all these people, heal these people, bounce back, still keep healing them, and you should get a lot out of it. You make me sad. The danger with throwing the orb at buildings, especially like this one, is if it hits one of these lips, if you draw this building from the side, it's got like these little things coming out of it. And then it's like this. And if it hits any of these bits, there's a chance that it just like drifts along and then goes boof, boof. And it just goes really stupid. Like this board here is just nice for us as Moira. It's very nice for us as Moira. This is where I start being very scared. Yeah, should be alternating. Don't like the DPS orb there, because now we're buggered. Well, I don't know what the DPS orb there. Okay. We're in a situation where we're running low on healing, they're all pushing and attacking us, I would either throw a heal orb onto these boxes or like here on this side of the boxes, but probably there. Or I throw the heal orb over this way and just let it fly through the team. The reason why is what that does is it will apply healing to the rest of the team, and that gives me a second to like wheel through and then start right-clicking the enemy team while still being safe. Because I know that my team is being healed because, hey, my good friend the healing orb is busy doing that. I can then do some damage, get this up, and then have healing available for when the heal orb floats away. So it's sort of that balance of making sure that there's always a source of healing for my team, rather than going for the DPS orb there, which will get you towards Coalescence, but I tend to err towards the side of being safe. Like, same for that one as well. Like, I would have just thrown a heal orb, because that will keep this Genji alive pretty much guaranteed. The damage orb isn't really going to help kill a Roadhog that much, and any damage done to your tanks, well, the heal orb will patch that up as well. And then you could just focus on right-clicking. Get that Coalescence. I like that orb. Fine with that Coalescence. There we go. Took us a while. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, I see what we were going for. We're a little bit slow on the lamp. Coalescence does hurt lamp. It's worth doing. Worth helping out with. I think we make a choice at this precise moment. And it looks like our team actually has really helped with the choice, which is Coalescence on Hammond is not going to do much to Hammond. Hammond don't give a heck. He's not worried about it on the slightest. So you either plug it through the team and you help kill the Bongo, or you go and help the Widow. What we end up doing is kind of trying to do both, where it's like, oh, I'm trying to DPS the Hammond, but I'm also trying to help the Widow. Just go and help the Widow. And if you are faced with a choice of like DPS or heal, always go for heal. I like the orb to go and help the Widow. I like our alternation to be a little bit faster on this, so heal, 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 right click. And all I generally do when I'm in a moment like this, where I'm like a little bit worried, a little bit panicky, things are kind of going our way, but I'm out of healing, so I'm a little bit worried. I'll do like a second of suck, and then I'll instantly go back to the healing. And just like give everyone a spray of heal, suck, spray of heal, suck, spray of heal. And that way I'm just consistently healing, and it's less about doing damage, and it's more about just making sure that I have heal juice. Us being the red team has confused me so much. Yep.
To 3. Switching sides.
You get used to it pretty quick, I think.
Initiating match.
All right then.
Initiating.
Are we going to play Bastion? Whoop, whoop, yep, burp, yep, burp, yep, burp. Okay. Good job by your Baptiste. Like this. Check the doors, guys. Anytime you leave in the doors, and like this is why you will see me when I play games, when I play matches. I will very rarely spend like the first, the preparing 30 seconds just bouncing around. I will go to the windows and look out the windows and stuff, because you can see this stuff happening.
5, 4,
There's no reason not to.
1.
As long as you're not the first one out. Like, I'm glad that we are not the first one out. We let other people go first. We're not this Genji. Let your tanks lead, because they'll eat a Widow shot. They'll eat the Junkrat spam. Very nitpicky, but I like being nitpicky, and it's worth doing. When you are going out here, always keep in mind that there are threats possible here. Can you guys see that? I'm right in the way again. Yeah, I'm kind of in the way. Like, this tower right here, Widowmaker can sit here and see the spawn. And so can a lot of, like, Hanzos can as well. Hanzos can also pop up over here. They can pop up over here. People can spam over here. There are a lot of ways to deal damage in, like, this area. Right? So my thought is always, I don't want to be in, like, this space. I need to get from the spawn to where the Roadhog is fairly quickly. Or I need to get like behind the payload with the Orisa barrier on the payload, and then I'm safe. But what we end up doing is we sort of walk out, and it's just a little bit faffy. I just get across that, like, it's like crossing the street, you know? If you're crossing a road, you wouldn't suddenly start moving left. You just go and get there. Lol. Okay, we're getting healing done. Nice. The only thing I would personally do different at this point is once the Winston drops his bubble, I would charge a right click and right click the bubble. The reason why is you can left click into it, but when you right click it, it just pops straight away. And it's more the instantaneous shock of the bubble going down, and then maybe some extra damage following it straight away. That is where you get damage and kills. But we deal with the Winston perfectly. Discord him, shoot him, back up a little bit. People turn around. Get that orb on. Nice. Reload, please. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Trying to shoot the Mercy. Get the reload. Good. Rejoin our team. Come on, Orisa. Yep. Nice. Good job. Alright, the respect we're giving. Nice. Very nice. This is quality. This is actually really nice to see. Which is, hey, the Winston dives our Widow. And our first reaction is to put an orb on the Widow. If the Winston actually didn't flub his jump and landed on the high ground next to the Widow, like, this Widow is so much stronger against the Winston when she has the orb. She's so much safer. And this response to someone is being dived or dove, okay, I'm going to put a heal on them. Yes, correct. Good.
Team up for special attack.
One or two optimizations we can do. I like the fact that we don't like go, oh my god, this Roadhog is so low, let's run forward and heal him. That's correct. I think that's absolutely spot on. If the Roadhog wants healing, he can come back and get it himself. But the second you notice the Roadhog like bouncing his way over this way, because that's kind of what he does, you got to look to get a heal on him. So he starts coming towards this way, and at this point I'd be like mashing shift just to try and get that heal on him. Because if he gets healing and he's over there and you guys are winning, it just pushes the fight into victory for you guys. And then you can just worry, like, because you know that he's going to be getting shot at and taking damage, your heal orb's in a good place, and then you can just focus entirely on dealing DPS. Actionable things. What can we do? First thing I'd say is, if you are dedicated to the Junkrat, if we are like 100% locked in on, hey, I want to play Junkrat, get very confident and like learn confidence. I don't know if you want to go mash out free-for-alls, do a ton of quick play, but it's actually even earlier than this. It's like super early. Yeah, it's like literally back here. But get confident in moments like this, because this is where it's sort of make or break for your value. Right, we do this a little bit early. Shooting the barrier, not worth it in this team comp. And then we have this moment, and it's like, we should finish this Ana. Already see where she went. If she if she stood on high ground, or if she dropped down. If she dropped down, just blow her up. If she stayed on high ground, maybe one or two cheeky nades. But just focusing on like keeping this Ana pinned. Although I'm fine with us playing here, going back to the choke point, I just like to see us kill this Ana. Like, she shouldn't be able to handle us. And it's the moments like that where it's like, oh, it's a 1v1 potential. That's where I'd like to see the little bit of extra value. But in my most humble of opinions, if you want to learn another hero, now's the time. Junkrat's probably at the weakest he's been. I struggle to name a hero weaker than Junkrat at the moment in the meta. And that might just be me being finicky, but I think he's in a rough spot because Hanzo exists. For the supports, I think our Zen is okay. The only thing I really didn't like was like the ult usage here on second. And I also like because of how the enemy team has been playing, you need to really keep that Genji like first and foremost in your mind. And then it's a case of, okay, well, like this ult isn't bad because, oh, you know, you guys, there was very little to heal and you like panicked and tried to heal the Genji. This ult is more bad because it takes us out of the fight. Like way out of the fight. Because we can't do anything except for heal while we're doing this. And you don't need this much healing at this situation. Like, the healing isn't what's going to make a difference here. Having more damage, having more freedom to move around your orbs, that's what's going to win you the fight. So it's more about, like, understanding that the value of Zenyatta in this situation is not going to come from Transcendence, but it's going to come from your ability to actually help confirm and secure some of these kills. At least we do sort of make up for it by keeping the Genji alive. And then there's like moments like afterwards, we should know that the moment you Transcendence and there's a Genji on the enemy team, you know 100% that the Genji wants to Dragon Blade now. He wants to do it now. Same with Zarya's and Graviton Surges. If you use Transcendence, they want to use that ability. So you have to really position yourself so carefully, quite far back, and play with like utmost respect. Make sure that you can get a Discord orb on them when they come in. Make sure that you can maybe do some damage when they come in and get the value on that one. If you are worried about Zarya's, play far back, don't get tranced, and then try and put damage and heals into the Transcendence because they are going to go for it every single time. And then the other instance is like this moment here. And it's just the realization of, it's almost like keeping in mind that Zenyatta's value is tied to how much he can see. And in this situation, you cannot see anything, so you're just stuck in a small room fighting against Torb, like, in a battle that will go nowhere. So it's a case of like, okay, my priority here should be to get out of this small room and not really pick a fight with the Torb. So I would just be going straight left, straight to the high ground. Like, straight up these stairs, go around, get set up here, then you can see things, then you can do things, and contribute to the fight. Whereas with this, yeah, and then it's just unfortunate that the Moira orb gets launched in here. It's just good play from their Moira. With the Baptiste, I just think we've picked the wrong hero for the wrong time. Like, we picked the wrong tool for the job. And you can kind of, like, there's a good feel for, like, why this is the wrong hero for the job at this time. Because it's sort of very visible later when we're trying to heal a Genji and a Widow. Actually, it might be before this. Back. This thing is when the Genji gets snipped. And it's like, we're trying to keep up. The only other thing with Baptiste, I would say, is just use your shift way more aggressively. Like, it's better than you think it is. And if people are diving to the backline, having a nice heal over time on everybody feels really good. Like, it's really worth using. Like, it has a pretty chunky cooldown, but honestly, you don't feel it quite as much. Ooh. But I think against what they're using, Baptiste is not the most value. Like, I think you could have just gone to the Moira. Ana 6 on Ana.
Enemy turret within my sight.
And last but not least, yeah, with Moira, like, the breakdown I always have with Moira is the fun part to me about Moira, the cool part about Moira is the 4 modes of Moira. You have 4 like settings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm even going to use the colors. You have full heal. This means you use orb plus spray, right? This triangle is spray because it's like a cone, and the orb is a circle. You have semi, and then give me semi heal, which I would consider heal orb plus DPS spray. DPS suck. You have semi DPS. Oh. Which is DPS orb plus heal spray. And then you have full DPS. Which is naturally going to just be both, right? And when you think of it in terms of that, and it's like, okay, how much healing do I need at the moment? Okay, well, I need full healing. I'm going to throw out all my healing and get all the value out of it as fast as I can. Great. It's deciding between like the semi-heals and the semi-DPSs that's always the hard part. And the way I always think of it is this. If I am running low on juice and I just need to get a little bit of juice, going with the heal orb will just take care of everybody while I go and do damage. And that's generally how I think about it. Damage orb is more for building up ultimate, and then you just give people a quick spray, and then you can very flexibly change between dealing damage, healing as needed. Semi-DPS is very flexible in that, you can throw the DPS orb, and it's gone out there, and then you can do some damage as needed, be full DPS, or you can just touch people up here and there. So you can, you have a lot of options with Moira. And it's just, to me, it's a matter of, understanding as well, if the heal orb is just floating around people for about 4 or 5 seconds, that's probably going to keep them healed up for a good amount, keep them nice and safe from any incidental damage, any damage that's just been launched at them from range, and they should be fine. So that gives you openings to then do some damage, recover your heal meter, and then you can have tons of healing going into the next fight. It's also a habit of mine that I see you doing as well, that I think we both need to work on, which is when you are low on heal juice, this is a good example, it's still doing these little sprays. Just stop. Just don't. Just let it regen instead. These are doing a little bit, but if you are worried about their health, put the heal or bounce it off this wall. And yeah. And that's about what I would say overall. So, ditch Junkrat. Learn to play Hanzo. If you are going to play Junkrat, get very confident with his 1v1 matchups. Learn how to 1v1 supports, especially with him. It is so much harder to do now than it used to be because of the radius nerf. You have decision points as well if they are playing with a very Genji-focused comp that you can play with Riptire revolving around their nanoblades. You do have that option available to you. Always keep it in mind. If you are playing Junkrat, they have a Genji and they're putting resources into the Genji, you can counter him. For supports, for Zen, sightlines are everything. Always think in terms of sightlines. What can I see? What can I do? Get your orbs out and then you can do DPS. We were kind of doing that, which is good. Moira, figure out exactly how we want to do our healing. And then with Baptiste, kind of difficult to judge from this game, to be honest. And that's literally going to be it for me today because I forgot the hour was starting now. So yeah. So it's going to be a short stream because I completely forgot that I need to start early because Owl starts early on the weekends and it eats into all of my stream time and dumb. I'm very dumb. And it's also, I think, Paris playing Valiant, and I kind of want to see that game myself. So hey, definitely enjoy that one. I've been enjoying the new 222 meta. It's been good. It's been very good. So I apologize for the short stream. Tomorrow we'll be starting earlier. I might be doing more Nier Automata tomorrow. We might be doing more Coaching the Many tomorrow. We've got some submissions still to go through. It's a bit of a weird time for Coaching the Many because 222 is on the horizon, and people have been asking, can I submit PTR footage? I'm going to change everything that I said previously and say yes, actually. The PTR has proven to be resolute enough, and I think the people who want to troll on PTR have kind of faded away enough that it's serious enough. So if you do have replays on the PTR that you want to record and send in, you can send those in. Just do keep an eye out if it feels like the enemy team is throwing or anything like that, or if someone's just like, oh, it's only PTR, I don't care. Things might be a bit weird on PTR, so it's something to keep in mind. Alright guys, otherwise thank you for joining me, and hopefully you have a good rest of the day. It feels weird to end this early. Thank you Mirenwin for the sub as well, and I'll see you very soon. Very, very soon indeed. Enjoy Al. Can I do this? Pretty long, it seems. I'm still going.